We open in a desolate area where someone says, "In this God-forsaken world, I've lived a truly wretched life." We see someone's hand reaching out. The weak have their wealth, their status. We now meet our main character for the first time, trying to claw his way through the sand, which is sucking him down. He thinks to himself, "I am dying, I was too weak." About 100 years ago, a terrifyingly bright beam of light struck the Earth. We then see a scene of the Earth being hit by the very same beam that our MC mentioned. The beam of light then began to devour all life on Earth. We then see the beam hitting Earth again, more pronounced this time, and the tiny, blue planet that was the cradle of life soon turned into a massive desert. We then see Earth, the once blue planet, now an orangish-yellow hue. All that was left for a few remaining humans to do. We then see a broken city. The streets are filled with sand, and then our MC says, "Was built their own fortresses." Our MC continues to say, "If you're going to destroy it, you should have destroyed everything." He says to himself, "Why leave only the bugs alive?" He crosses his arms and glances out the window. We then see someone else who is in the truck with him. He smashes his face against the glass. There's a muscular man saying, "Oops, my hand slipped," in a sarcastic tone. He says sorry. Sorry, clearly he's not meaning it. He says, "Tell me your name, so I can apologize for his attitude," which is arrogant and clearly unapologetic. We finally learn our MC's name, which is Zeon. We then see our Zeon looking up at the man with a sharp, piercing expression. "Ah, you only have one name." The man laughs loudly, saying, "You don't have multiple dads, do you?" Clearly, he is attempting to bully Zeon. Zeon looks at the man with a deadly expression. The man then replies, "Whoa, look at this punk getting all grumpy." The guys who ride this mining bus usually share one thing in common. The man says, "Relax, boy, we're in the same boat, we should all get along." Not a single one of them is an actual miner. "What did you get caught doing?" the man asks. Zeon thinks to himself, they are either criminals or fugitives. It's pretty much safe to bet they are one or the other. The man then asks him, "Assault, fraud, theft, what do you think?" Before the man could continue talking, Zeon punched him in the face. We see the man fly back, hitting the floor of the bus with a hard thud. Zeon then says, "You're wrong, dumbass." Zeon then approaches menacingly, saying, "Want to know?" He then says, "It's murder," while lifting his fist to continue beating the man. Our main character says, "Strictly speaking, he didn't kill a human since he was from Neo Soul, and only the strong are considered people." We then flash back to our main character's story. He says it's nothing special. What's the big deal about adding one more piece of trash to the dump? Some rat came to steal my stuff and got himself killed. That's all. Fuck, I did not see he was a pet rat, Zeon says. The man lying on the ground says, "My older brother is Lee Juryong. You hear me? You're a dead man walking." Lee Juryong, our MC says to himself. Zeon sat stunned, his expression full of fear and worry. If the strong are people, then the Awakeners are gods, standing above them. Zeon then says to himself, "A mere rat like me ended up offending a god." We then see Zeon's face with tears flowing a little, and a grim expression. He said that rumors were spreading that Lee Juryong was looking for him. He said, and before he knew it, he had gotten on the bus and headed toward the mines. We then hear the man say, "Hey." Our MC freezes in terror. The man now stands before me, his eyes wild and unhinged, and he spits out the words, "You are done." Our MC thinks to himself, "What's this? Why is my heart hurting?" He thinks to himself, "Don't tell me," as the man grips his head. We then see our MC getting hurled across the bus like a rag doll. He hits a wall with a pained cry, "Qeg." The man then says, "You should have told me earlier. I'm here for the exact same reason." The man continues, "I could have treated you like my little brother and shown you some love, you know. But you crossed the line, way past the fucking line." Zeon then begins to curse, saying, "Are you kidding me? I ran away to escape an Awakener." The man then approaches, saying, "It looks like Big Brother needs to teach you a bit." "You all agree," he says to the other men on the bus, cracking his knuckles while summoning fire in his fist. Our MC says he is an Awakener. Our main character thinks to himself, "I met an Awakener here too." We then see a commotion happening in the bus. From outside, we see that the bus has been tossed up into the air. One of the men on the bus says, "Ah, damn it, what is this? Oi, learn how to fucking drive." The bus driver goes silent before letting out a sob. Hua. The man says, "What the fuck is he mumbling about?" Ah, clutching his head. The driver says, "It wasn't I, it wasn't. We weren't headed to the mine." Blood drips from the man's forward face. He looks up and says, "What are you blabbering about?" The bus driver says, "We are." His eyes went bloodshot with total fear. Being consumed, he finally spits out. We then see the monster emerging from the ground, attempting to swallow the bus. All the men inside began to scream frantically, trying to escape. Zeon says, looking back, "It was always a repetition of the same situation." We then see our MC, along with others, falling into the sand, where just below the monster's sharp teeth are. Zeon thinks to himself, "Even back in Neo Soul, or even when I encountered an Awakener, or even when I was being consumed by a sandworm is nothing special." We then see our main character attempting to crawl out of the sand. The same scene as in the beginning. He says it again because in this shitty world, having things taken by the strong is just the way of life. We then see Zeon's eyes bulge as he continues trying to escape. He then says to himself, "So, am I dying here?" We then see the monster's jaws closing around him. He says to himself, "It's just because I'm weak." He says to himself, "It's so cliché and predictable, it makes me yawn." He says, "Sure, I could always imagine the fantasy of being just a little stronger and not dying like this." He then says to himself, "But that's a meaningless rambling at this point." We then see a bent hand sticking up from the sand. As everything is devoured, we then see our MC emerge from the sand, saying, "Haya." He breathes heavily and sobs. In this moment, he undergoes an awakening, and he becomes able to feel and view everything in the world, using the very sand that surrounds him. We then see the Statue of Liberty covered in sand. It continues as he can see the Eiffel Tower, destroyed nations and cities. His eyes glow with a sandy hue. We continue to see broken bridges, surrounded by sand. His eyes glow even brighter, as if they reflect the entire world in them. He continues to walk out. He looks back at the monster. His sandy eyes blaze like embers in the darkness. "I will survive," he states resolutely. We then see him next to the sandworm. He had just blasted himself out of, looking up at it, covered in its blood.